My name's Danny Diliberto, founder of Ladles of Love. It was founded back in 2014. Communities we work with are all over the peninsula, and we're working with 138 beneficiaries now. We've grown exponentially. We've been able to do that because of all the kindness that we have experienced from individuals and corporates such as Interbet, who just want to be part of the change.
Well, we spoke about the Drill Hall Stakes sponsored by the Independent on Saturday, and we mentioned it's the World Sports Betting Race Day. This is the World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas. It's over 1,600 meters. It is a Group 2 at the time of recording. All 9 runners run. And we got a Golden Hostess that was a rerun, and an interview with a few trainers, Louis Quirson, Andre Nell, Wendy Whitehead, and Dean Kannemeyer. That's to follow the rerun.
And Charles Bella, he's starting to lift the grey filly in the middle. Up the outside, Time for Orchids, Who Do You Love, and Golden Hostess. He's out after them down the inside. It's Make It Snappy. She continues to go in front. In fact, she's found another gear. She's kicked a length and a half clear of Charles Bella, and Make It Snappy is going all of the way to win the World Sports Betting Cape Fillies Guineas.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I'm going with Des' gut instinct. As a 3-year-old, your guineas only comes around once, in India and Natal. So her last run, the Umzinkulu, wasn't bad because she hadn't been in my care that long, and we brought her in very soft. And she's a large frame filly, but we believe that she'll come out of the race better. And we took the feedback from the jockey, and he's chosen to ride her again, and he felt that she will get the miles. Her best form's been over 1,200 so far. So, yeah, we're taking a chance on the distance.
Michelle, look, we threw in the deep end in Cape Town, and she did really well for Andre there. And obviously the plan coming here was the Guineas and then the Lavington. She's had a good prep. She arrived here towards the end of March, so she's had a nice foundation to settle in and familiarize herself with the tracks here. And she's had good weather, which has always helped. And like I say, her prep's been very good. Rob's been very happy with it, and we think she's going to give a good account of herself. Obviously, the plan is the 2,000, the Lavington. This is probably at the bottom end of her range, the mile, but from what she's shown us, we've been really impressed, and we're hoping for a nice run.
Michelle, Let It Snow she's just gone from a little filly to this magnificent filly that stands over ground, and she's really grown up into a beautiful, beautiful filly. Her last start at Greyville in the Umzinkulu was absolutely amazing. She went to the front in that race. The 1,400 is far too sharp for her, and she's a type of filly that likes to gallop. She doesn't like to cancer and then turn it on, and Ashton rode an absolute perler on her in the race. So 1,600 is more her forte, and drawn 5, I'm not sure if we're going to make the pace in this race, but she'll certainly be right up there in this race. So it's a competitive small field, but she's going to give it her best shot.
Yeah, she won the Grade 3 very well, over 1,400 metres, and she beat some top filly Canadian Sunset, and but okay, I was getting 6 kilos, but she won it very well that day. And will she get the mile? On that pedigree, she should get the mile, but she's a lovely big scopy filly. But of course, it'll be the biggest test to date. But I think she's earned her stripes, for 101 now. And there's some fillies with higher ratings, but she's a filly that's continuing to improve, and she's a lovely filly. I think she's going to run a very good race there. But of course, the race will tell us, how good she is. But I wouldn't leave her out.
Well, usually on the feature race days, when you have a look at the respective races, especially the weight for age races and the races for like the Guineas and the Fillies Guineas, the cream usually rises to the top, and I'm hoping it is the same here over the 1,600 meter trip in the World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas, because when you look at the best weighted column, there's just one horse that absolutely stands out, and that's Golden Hostess. But there will be few that will be possibly following the best of the Gauteng form when it comes to these 3-year-old fillies, because it is represented here by Lady of Power. She's run in the Guineas, the Classic, and the Oaks. So she's run in the Big 3, the Triple Tiara, and she represents the best form that Gauteng has to offer. And some may argue that the Cape ratings versus the Gauteng ratings, it could be skewed. But the one thing that I will tell you about Golden Hostess is that when she ran that absolute blinder behind Desert Miracle, she was pushed up from a 108 and 115, and I thought rightfully so. But last time out, which was a prep run for her, I was keeping a very close eye on her that day over that 1,200 meter trip in the Magnolia, and I know that they were using it as a prep run. But how did she win that over that 1,200? She made those 3-year-olds look ordinary, from last to first in a matter of seconds.
Absolutely, it is. And this filly, she's quickened up so well. Quintus Light seemed to have the race, and Happy Chance was in fact second at that point in time. And then Golden Hostess, out of nowhere, she just quickened up past them all, and she's obviously a filly that's talented. We saw her run an absolute crack in the debutante just the past season behind Gobsmacked, and if it wasn't perhaps for a deep draw on that occasion, maybe she would have gone past Gobsmacked and she would have been a lot closer to the action. So she's a horse that could certainly be a 4-time winner, if not maybe a 5-time winner by now, but she takes her place in the race. The question mark for me is 1,600. Is it a best trip? Whereas horses like Lady of Power have proven herself to be the Guineas winner over 1,600 meters. I don't think Hold My Hand is without a chance in the lineup. And then we heard from Byron that Sarki, the 1,600 is just at the bottom of her range. Obviously, the 2,000, the Will Avington, would be the aim with this filly. So, just based on that comment, then maybe she's a horse to follow for the Will Avington instead of this race here. But I think number 7, Shantastic. I know that last time out she was in receipt of 6 kgs from Canadian Summer, and Amina was in the race as well. She's related to Waterbury Lane. I just think based on pedigree, she'll get the trip, and I think she's got to be a lively contender. I know she's been campaigning in the handicapping company until the last start, winning that Group 3. I think she's a filly on the up. I think she's a horse that's going to run an almighty race here for the Hollywood Syndicate. Whether she's good enough to beat the likes of Lady of Power, Golden Hostess, and even Hold My Hand, only the race will tell. But she's going to be the each way play in the race for me.
What I really like about the way Candice Bass Robinson is giving us the message about Golden Hostess, she hasn't been shy to run this 3-year-old filly against the older horses. She's got all the big names in her form down in Cape Town. Princess Cala, Desert Miracle, of course, Make It Snap, Ciao Bella. She's got all the names. I mean, when you compare those names to the guys up in Gauteng, I mean, Feather Boa and, Bless Me Stars and none other, they're all good horses, but are there in the category of what this horse has been running against. The best way to call him for me is the best guide. I mean, when you look at the way the handicappers got Golden Hostess, she's 5 kgs better off as a weight with the next best, which is Lady of Power. So I'm all in here. I've got a lot of respect for these other horses. They deserve their place here. Some of them are way out with regards to their ratings. They got a mountain to climb. Other horses that are superb. You touched on a few of them. You can even add Captain Peg to the mist. Is she as effective over a mile than she's been over shorter? She gets the services of Richard Fourie. But I think all things being equal, if she's traveled down well, if she's settled in nicely, I have no issues with her at the course. I think that she will win here. Number 9, Golden Hostess. I am going to banker her in the pick 6, and I don't need any help from Ride with the show.
This is where the 80-rand pick 6s come from. The bankers.
We got the bankers. We're banking the first leg. We got the 5 horses. It was basically a field. We got Give Me a Prince banker and Golden Hostess a banker. I'm hoping it turns out to be a day where the best horses win the respective races. That's on ratings. But more importantly for me, I'm hoping that it all goes the way of the punters on Saturday.
I'm with you on that, Deez. And the best horses, hopefully they rise to the top, and the punters can make quite a bit of cash come Saturday. Race number 7, it's a cracking race. It is the Fillies Guineas over 1,600 meters. It's the second of the Grade 2s on the day, and we look forward to seeing these horses back in action.
Hi, I'm Trevor, the CEO of the same foundation. The donation we received from Interbet helped us in procuring vital life-saving medical equipment and PPE for Tygerberg and Groote hospitals in the Western Cape. This was while the Western Cape was the epicenter of the pandemic. If you would like to get in touch or assist us in these projects, you can get hold of us on our website, which is www.samefoundation.org.za, Facebook and Instagram or LinkedIn.